magic behind the holidays. This is going to be exciting. So I have to ask, how many of you truly, truly, truly are excited about the holidays? Raise your hand. Some of you didn't. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. All right. Just so I know, it depends. It really depends, like what you mean by the holidays. Some people say Merry Christmas. Some people say Happy Hanukkah. Some people say bah humbug, right? Is that right? All right, so let me see. I need to get a feeling of who my audience is. Raise your hand if you say Merry Christmas. Truly, if you say Merry Christmas. Good, 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 good. Raise your hand if you say Happy Holidays. Good, 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 good. How many of you would not raise your hand no matter what I asked you? All right? So this lecture is completely inclusive, meaning if you're a child, if you're an adult, if you believe in Santa Claus, if you say Happy Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or Happy Holidays, or Merry Christmas, it doesn't matter. And here's why. A couple years ago, a friend of mine, Jeff Blanger, wrote a book called The Fright Before Christmas. And what Jeff said was this: the real meaning of the season of the December holidays is around the winter solstice. We're in the winter solstice today. I can't think of another place to be other than Newgrange in Ireland. It's true, true. A couple years ago, I was able to go to Newgrange, and it was absolutely wonderful. How many of you heard of Stonehenge? Right? You know Stonehenge? Newgrange is 1,000 years younger than Stonehenge. And they use it as a gateway to track the sun. Today is the shortest day, by the way. You knew that, right? Today is the winter solstice. The shortest day, the longest night. And then everything turns around. So what Jeff was saying in the book, and I highly recommend this book, not just because I like this guy. This guy wrote a book called The Fright Before Christmas. He talked about the winter solstice, and the way I like to think about it is this. Think of a round cake, maybe a yellow cake, pound cake, and that's the sun, right? That's the sun. And then people decorate the cake different ways. They have different traditions. But most of our traditions during December go back to the winter solstice. I got his book, I read it within 2 days. I said, Jeff, I want to present a lecture based on your book. I'm going to call it The Magic Behind the Holidays, but I'm going to do magic. He's not a magician, so he can't do magic. But he gave me the idea. So we're going to talk about the real meaning of the season. Now, if you study history or you study religion, you'll realize that the church, they locked on in the 4th century the birth of Christ. But before that, people were focused on the sun, S-U-N. Now why? Why? Now you got to picture this, thousands of years ago. People loved the spring, they loved the summer, they loved the fall, but they survived and they were wondering, are we going to get through the winter? Are we going to live? Are we going to die? Do we have enough resources? This was really important to people. So people created parties and rituals and a lot of things that go back thousands and thousands of years. Even before Jesus Christ, we do as tradition. So that's what we're going to talk about. In fact, let me show you what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about four things, I'm so excited, 4 things that everyone can get into. Doesn't matter what you believe or what your belief structure is. These are the 4 things. First one is hope, right? So how do I describe hope? Well, the best way to describe hope is the opposite of hope, which is despair. Now, I will tell you, there are a lot of people that are depressed this time of year because things don't match up to their childhood reality, or they're missing someone, or something happened. So the opposite of hope is despair. We're going to focus today on hope. Is that good? Okay, good. Next thing we're going to talk about is faith. Now, faith doesn't have to be religious faith. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. The opposite of faith is fear. We're going to talk about fear. Talk about some of the traditions, specifically in England and in Europe. And then we're going to talk about love. The opposite of love is hate. And then lastly, we're going to talk about peace. So these are the 4 attributes or qualities that we're going to talk about. And what I love about this lecture is that it applies to all of us.